So, silent protagonists are now upsetting these people now. Most of Nintendo's characters are really made to be empty vessels so the players can project wherever they wanted to. However, being perfectly tailor-made for this, almost nobody actually does this. They just think of it as they are. Characters who actually have defined personalities are not meant to be projected onto. None of us get fouled from this from fans despite being fit for at all. Well, on top of that, well, in the earlier eras of gaming, it's not just Nintendo characters, many characters were designed to be silent protagonists at the very beginning. Heck, I think there are some exceptions like Sonic the Hedgehog, obviously, but many characters are intended to be like silent protagonists. It's not just Nintendo, and even like Nintendo, they have moved on from this, like in Fire Emblem, obviously, Xenoblade. Well, those are more like story-driven games. So a silent protagonist doesn't really work on that type of game or game like that's I think even those games give the characters like your main character still is involved in the story. He still speaks in the games. I think as well. But a lot of games do this. Halo does this a lot. Well, Master Chief, he rarely speaks in the Halo games. Okay, Halo is a very story-driven game, but the character you play as Master Chief, doesn't is not really the whole point is you're supposed to project yourself into Master Chief. He does speak in the Halo games, but he speaks very little. Same thing with Doom. It's not just Nintendo games. Like, this is a very common occurrence in the game industry. I think the most notorious example of a silent protagonist is Gordon Freeman from Half-Life 2. One of the most well-beloved games, the main character barely speaks in the game at all. Okay? Of course, nowadays, you don't really have silent protagonists anymore. It's kind of a dead gaming trope now. It's only really franchises that really have this type of game trope where they could really continue this. I think the best example of this is Mario. Okay, but for example, in Paper Mario, Mario doesn't really speak in the game. Bowser Adore Mario doesn't really speak in the game. It's really your partner or your companion that really does all the speaking for you in the game. As well. Mario that makes like gestures and stuff. No one had an issue with that until today. No one had an issue with that until today, obviously, but yeah. It's because back in the 90s and 80s, there wasn't much of voice acting or story in games. It was mostly about the gameplay. Okay, many game characters are still considered silent protagonists, and it's a very common thing still in the gaming industry. For a main character that doesn't really speak much, and really, all the characters around you really make the plot around you, not the character you play as. It's a very common thing. But it's especially way less common now in the modern gaming era, where storytelling takes place, and your character you play as obviously has a very great storyline and very great character as well. And yeah, that's about this video here. Goodbye.